Welcome to the STEM Academy. My name is Jonathan Liu, and I will be your tour guide for the first half. Here we have the open space room where most of our PBLs take place. We have tons of materials here, which is why most of our PBLs take place here. But we'll get to the materials later. Here, our third grade STEM designers are teaching their students right here in the open space room. Here we have our study rooms where it's very quiet, so you can catch up on that missing work. Here we have the materials that we use for our PBLs, and we also have board games that you can use for those extra rainy days on indoor recess. Let's take a look at some of our flexible seating and also we have these parts that we use for our clubs or science. And here we have our projects for our PBL. On the whiteboard we have our food chain with the sun, a producer, and 2 consumers. Let's move on to our makerspace area. And here we are. This is our makerspace area where right now we are in the art room using that for the art showcase that is coming up. We have our flexible seating, and the chairs and tables move along with the materials for easy transportation. Here's another look at our projects that we use for our PBL. Let's move on to the drone room. Here we have more flexible seating that is also movable, and on your right we have some moving material carts that we use for our PBLs. And here we also have a lot of book buckets. And you see that big white wall over there? Well, guess what? It opens up. You see that above the whiteboard? That's called the EDP process. That's what makes STEM unique. Follow me to the Queen Bee room. This is where we are currently doing our STAR boot camp in the form of surgery. Here we also have flexible seating. As you can see, this is the other side of the room that has the removable wall. It's very beautiful, isn't it? Here's that wall you see that I told you that opens to the drone room. And here's the magic closet that we used to get materials from all our PBLs. We also have a Lego wall. Isn't that cool?
Hi, my name is Isabella Ramos, and I'm going to be doing the second part of the tour. As you can see, we're about to walk into Worker Bee room. As we walk in, you can see that Miss Toomey is reading a book called The Tales of 4th Grade Nothing. And the reason the kids are listening so intensely is because we are doing a brochure based off the book. We have more maker materials that we can use to bring the EDP process to life. As we walk outside the classroom, we're going to go to the outside makerspace. The outside makerspace is really cool because it has picnic-like tables, and our teachers normally let us work out there since we switch between classrooms. And when we go out there, if you look up, you can see beautiful constellations. Then we go more towards the edge of the balcony. You can see 3rd grade is using plants for their PBL, which they're growing radishes. And on the railing, you can see that we have 3D printed tools that we use. Then once we go back inside, we're going to walk into the science lab, which is the surgery room right now. As we walk in, you can see surgery is in progress with Taylor Swift. We need to get her back together by solving division math problems, and once we solve 5 math problems, we get a prompt that tells us which body part we get to pick up and either sew on or put brads or tape. And as you can see, 2 nurses are working together. Then over here you can see what math concept we're using. On the board you can see what we're supposed to be finishing. More towards the nursing offices, there's more in progress. Then as we walk more outside, you can see that there's journal holders and bucket holders, which can easily be moved around the STEM Academy. As we move more towards the open space, you can see there's learners playing with the Lego wall. Then we have the green screen study room. As we walk in here, you can see that the whole room's green, which is helpful for us because when we do presentations or like reports, we can easily edit a specific background we want. Then as we walk into the tech lab, you can see the learner computers. Then as you can see on the wall, there's the engineering design process. First, you get a problem. Then you ask the right questions to help you research and imagine what you're gonna do. Then you plan the full sketch and you're allowed to create and then test to make sure everything works. And then you want to improve to make sure it's the best it can be. Then as we go back towards the tech lab, you can see there's many tools that we use towards the end of the year. You can see we have bottle rockets. 4th grade and 3rd grade got a prompt to do, and they had to make a new solution to make the bottle rockets go. Then you can see we have a cart with our tech lab journals. So during tech, we've been learning how to crochet, and that's why there's a bunch of buckets with yarn in them. And then over here, you can see the 3D printers in action, which we use to make products for our PBL. Then as we walk in towards the middle of the room, you can see that we have the robotics table. And as you can see, there's a bunch of spike kits that we use to make our robots come to life. We also are an award-winning robotics team. Thank you for coming to the STEM Academy. We hope to see your new learners soon.